If you want to be able to buy the most expensive players and open the best packs in FC24, go to u7buy.com to buy your EA FC24 coins. It's cheaper than buying FC points and just as reliable. With their already amazing prices, you can get an extra 6% using promo code Inception at checkout. So yet again, guys, my face cam and my audio were kind of weird. The same thing happened in my Lucio video. So for you guys not to hear that buggy sound for the gameplay, the camera is just going to be black just for the beginning, but then the gameplay, we're just going to commentate over it and then go from there. Okay, so yeah. Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have the team of the season, Lacazette, to check out. I'm hoping that this card is in a similar situation to the Alvarez card, where he's formatted a certain way, but he has proper attacking AI and gets into positions really nicely. The playstyles that he has, it's interesting because he has Power Shot Plus, First Touch Plus, and... oh, is that Ping's Pass? I always forget. Yeah, Ping's Pass, okay. Finesse Shot, Chip Shot, Technical, Press Proven as well. Big playstyle, right? Keeps close control of the ball while dribbling at jog speed, W. Aerial, in-game attributes. Had a feeling it was going to be formatted for an engine to increase the pace, dribbling, and passing of the card while working with mid-90s for finishing. Okay, so yeah, it's funny because I do this with all the cards nowadays, right? If you guys watch the review for Diani, I did the exact same thing, right? Like, I said, hey, you know, if you want, you can give her a hawk. The way that I am as a person, I have to give her an engine because I need to make her feel as responsive as possible, especially since she has a short and normal body type, which means that she doesn't have like a light body type, like a lean or anything like that, right? So not going to be as agile. And I think Lacazette's the exact same. I'm pretty sure Lacazette doesn't have... It might be unique, maybe. What is his body type? Let me see. Yeah, I had a feeling because I think of his body type. I'm like, I don't know if I would consider it like an average and normal, blah, 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 right? Like, so we'll see. This year it could be different, guys, right? With the team of the season version on that engine chemistry style, it could be nice. Like I said, there's potential with him kind of being like an Alvarez in a sense, right? So we'll see. Passing on the card will be in a better area, obviously, with the engine, but it's pretty solid. He has the high, so I want to see how that works out in game 2. He does have physical capabilities in regards to winning headers. He doesn't have power header, but he does have aerial with good heading capabilities, right? Has a strength, stamina, aggression, a couple of interesting things here and there. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get the card and I'll show you guys how we line them up. So again, guys, we are going to commentate over the gameplay because I'm not going to let you guys listen to that corrupt gameplay audio that only FIFA does that for me for. No other game does this. But a couple of different build-up plays here, a couple of different situations to show you guys some of the animation choices that the card does end up taking in some situations, right? So areas like that, you know, that's where you kind of show off the press proven a little bit on the card. I will say, guys, and you guys will be able to see during the gameplay footage, his body type does influence his dribbling, right? If it was a different type of body type, when it comes to like going for the first touch, going for like those specific dribbling situations, he does add a little bit of emphasis on the ball. His body type, it almost reminds me of like a Rooney type of body type. Like it's like a stocky shorts sort of body type. It's a very interesting way to put it, but it's kind of just like how it performs in game, right? So you'll see that even though he has the first touch, like he always has that like added emphasis on the ball, and it's because of his unique body type kind of causing that on the card, right? Another thing that I noticed with this card is that with his high work rates, it performs pretty well in game, but it's not on a similar level to someone like the Alvarez card, right? With Alvarez, whenever I had him on the high work rate, like he has that specific attacking AI that I want on a consistent basis. But situations like this, when I'm just generally building up the attack, is where you can see his dribbling animations going for a more emphasized feel, right? Now, situations like this, where we're trying to attack the middle, we're trying to see if Lacazette moves into certain spaces. That's a situation right there that is the perfect example of what his dribbling is like, right? So you could see that with the defensive pressure on the player, he loses control of the ball. He feels loose in that sort of area. And, you know, we do end up losing the ball from like just pressure, right? Because that's just how the card generally performs right now. Again, from the build-up play here, this is the type of stuff that you have to see on a pretty consistent basis, is whether or not we can turn to take certain strikes, take certain sharp touches to then score opportunities. And he does do extra things on it. So you definitely need to utilize a lot of the technical dribbling on the card, a lot of the L1 dribbling on the card for you to like really open up the space, right? This is a typical build-up play goal with us here, just attacking the middle, going into the side position. We switched the penalty to Lacazette. I don't think we missed a penalty with the card, to be fair, but yeah, we just switched it to him because obviously it's his review. We get the ball back here in the bottom side. Luis Diaz obviously with really good pace. We go for a driven pass, and then I just go for like some extra dribbles, try to time the strike if we do there, but we do end up hitting the crossbar, right? So we do miss that opportunity. Again, this is the type of stuff you got to see, is whether or not he gets into those good attacking areas. In a situation like that, for how EA adjusted that recent patch in that side area, he still attacks that area pretty nicely. This is just us demonstrating a 5-star weak foot pass, which he does well. We did do a first time pass there at Dembele, but obviously didn't register it. But yeah, again, building up the play down the middle. It's always like the same build-up play, so it's whether or not the guy can just track back and kind of utilize that empty space as quickly as possible, right? So we get into a scenario there where it does make sense for us to hit a green time strike to the near post, right? But because he does have that weak foot, we at least have that option to work with. But again, you definitely need to green time your strike there. This one right here was a well-weighted pass to Zaire Emery. Nice little shot cancel to push into the side position. Zaire Emery scores that opportunity for us. So a nice little well-weighted pass by Lacazette there. We're running over here with Karchawi, waiting for some attacking plays. We pass the ball off to Dembele, pass the ball off, a lot of deflections, a lot of emphasis, go for a strike. He does end up missing that opportunity, which is an opportunity that we did not green, but from that specific area, it's not always going to be like the most consistent strike. But again, it's always important to test out. This is a demonstration showcasing how poor the gameplay was, right, in regards to just slowness and feel. But we do end up getting a penalty here. Lacazette gets into an attacking opportunity here for us to score a penalty. We did do the extra pass, to be fair, there, just because of the review, because obviously I could have just shot out with Luis Diaz, but you can see that initial movement with Messi is just kind of like how the game plays out. And that's team of the season Messi, by the way, is with the dribbling animations in this game. But we do score that penalty with Lacazette. Over here, right off the bat, you know, Zaire Emery utilizing some side position. We go for a driven pass into a pass. I wait a little bit extra for Lacazette to make that run. You could tell that in that situation, it's not super aggressive for him to make that specific play right there. His high work rates, like I mentioned, is it's not like Alvarez. Alvarez's high makes him still move a certain way. With Lacazette, you have to work with it a little bit more. Over there, we try to go for a strike right away, but in that situation, especially with how this game kind of generally plays out, had to go for the extra pass there, but we just didn't end up going for it, right? So Lacazette makes a run here. We go for a power strike to the left side. Power strike's probably not the best play there, but power strike is not necessarily a play style that I utilize a lot, but it is a good play style to utilize if you do get into the scenarios where you're kind of just inside the 18-yard box. You hit a green time especially, and you can score those opportunities, right? That's a typical meta goal, so we'll move right past that. Karchawi in the left back position makes a run here. We try to utilize the side position here as much as possible, but then Lacazette at some point gets into an area where we just use a little bit of the technical from the first touch, or after the first touch, to open up the space for ourselves to hit him with a 5-star weak foot strike. Now, as I mentioned earlier, with his body type feeling a certain way that influences his dribbling, that does go hand in hand with the way that he shoots the ball too, right? So you'll see me like not really consistently hit green times with him, because that physical aspect to him will add more of a delay when it comes to shooting the ball in certain situations. So that's just something that you have to get used to whenever you're in those specific spots. This guy overcommits a tackle here. We hit a red time on that one, but we do end up scoring, right? So hitting a red time is kind of crazy on a 1v1 like that, but it just showcases like just not being used to working with that body type of his, feeling a certain way, right? So this is us trying to utilize some dribbling situations there, just letting go and putting back the left stick in certain situations to work that 5-star weak foot angle. We shoot the ball, we score the opportunity to the right hand side. Back into the side area here, I'm going to try to utilize the spots. Lacazette does move into the side position there, which is a W. We try to go for a skill move from the tackle that he does earlier, but we don't end up getting through on goal there. But it's good that he utilizes the side position there when obviously there's not enough space to work with. Here's a play over here where Lacazette utilizes the middle spot. we do go for a strike, but because we're obviously aiming for a green time, I have to look at my player and the goalkeeper at the same time, so I have to basically be an octopus. So another attacking play here, utilizing the side position. Luis Diaz adds a little bit of emphasis on the ball there. We do get the ball back here. Lacazette is onside. We go for a first-time strike, and we do end up scoring that opportunity. So again, he did position himself well in that area to score that sort of opportunity. We try to utilize some side space here, wait for the middle to kind of open up for us. And it does at some point here. A couple of passing plays. We do a first-time pass, but it is behind the player in that situation from a first time, right? So a lot of times EA wants you to have like a tiki-taka plus for that to consistently come off, but you know, a situation like that, again, with the timing situation being a little bit weird because you have to get used to the player's body type, we do end up hitting a white time strike on the finesse shot there and missing. Green time over here just to showcase the shooting a little bit. He did end up not playing anymore in that game, so, but obviously we're going to get some highlights with him whenever we can. So again, Luis Diaz in the side position here, going for a driven pass into the middle. Lacazette does make a good run inside the middle space there, and the finish was pretty solid too. Like he actually kind of like bounced it over the goalkeeper's leg. So that one we definitely ended up scoring as well. This one will definitely be a pretty typical meta play. He overcommits his center back. We go for the driven pass. I think that was a green. Can't really see because the screen is really small, but we do end up scoring that opportunity from him being well positioned. Okay, guys, so final verdict on the Team of the Season SBC Lacazette card. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. For me personally, I do agree with the like to dislike ratio for this card. As you guys know, when I reviewed the Alvarez card, if you watch the very beginning of the video, because that's where you can see like the likes and dislikes on the card, you can see that people were disliking that card too, and it was like 300 and something K during that time period. But when I ended up actually trying out the Alvarez card in game, especially recently because they put that evolution out as well, Alvarez was significantly better than I thought he would in game, right? Lacazette, I think they overpriced like crazy at 539K. A couple things to mention. So his unique body type is a physical one, while also being agile in certain situations, right? Because he has like a stockish sort of body type. So when I gave him the engine chemistry style, even though you do increase the dribbling to be as high as possible, you do still feel that in the car because of that body type feeling a certain way. With his pace, he's not going to feel like the fastest when it comes down to, you know, going for a specific breakaway, unless it's like a very obvious situation. Like there's some cards that they have, you know, their body types, their heights, like Mbappe. When Mbappe's through on goal, Mbappe's through on goal. Like that guy's really fast, right? With Lacazette, because he's a smaller player and because he doesn't have any of those like running play styles, and because of his unique body type, he's not going to like always be through, but you could see from some of those like more obvious situations, he does still score those opportunities for us, right? And because he has the mid 90s for finishing in this game, you guys know how it works. You can have perfect finishing and you still got to green as much as possible. With the card, when it comes down to the finishing, because he has the 5-star weak foot, that's going to be a helpful thing to work with. He does have that high work rate, but it's not a high to the extent of Alvarez, I think, but it's still decent. It's not an actual like complete nuisance to play with because he still made some pretty solid runs to work with. I think the main thing here was limitation in running into those areas because of the high. I think if he was like a high medium, he would probably do it a little bit more, but it still wasn't like horrible to work with. You could still see a lot of attacking opportunities that we ended up getting. He did do a pretty decent job. Physical engagement in the air, I'm just not really going to go for with this card. People have like crazy meta defenders. You would have to put yourself into obvious crossing situations with the whipped pass plus in your fullback position for those to really work out. But yeah, in my opinion, I agree with the like to dislike ratio. I think that SBC is pretty up there in price. Do I think the card still performs well in game? Yeah, he still definitely performs well in game, but I think they've just priced it too much for how he generally performs in game, right? Because it's first touch plus, but the way that his body type kind of influences it, it's a little bit weird, right? If they didn't give him a press proven, it would have been completely cooked, right? But press proven in some situations, you guys can actually notice it helping the card a lot in some of those specific areas, right? But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I will catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.